Hey guys, what if I told you that an old ceiling fan motor, the one that's been sitting in my garage collecting dust for years, could actually generate real electricity? And not just that, it's now part of a hybrid wind and solar tower that sends live power data straight to my phone. Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what I did. And today, I'm going to show you the entire process, from taking apart that dusty old motor to building a working hybrid power system that actually produces usable electricity. Now, let me be honest with you. I've seen a lot of DIY solar and wind projects online. Most of them either cost way too much or only work well in perfect conditions. I wanted something different. I wanted to prove that you don't need to spend hundreds of dollars on brand new parts to get real results. That's why I decided to build this hybrid tower using mostly stuff I already had or could get for cheap. The idea is simple but powerful. Combine a small wind turbine made from an old ceiling fan motor with a couple of solar panels, store the energy in a battery, and use an ESP32 to monitor everything in real time. Why? Because I wanted to actually see how much power I was getting instead of just guessing. Before I started this project, I had two big questions in my mind. First, can an old fan motor really work as a generator? And second, is it even worth the time and effort to build something like this at home? I think a lot of you watching right now are probably asking the same things. So instead of just watching theory videos, I decided to test it myself. I wanted real numbers. I wanted to know exactly how much power this hybrid setup could produce on normal days, not just perfect sunny and windy days. In this video, I'm not going to show you some overcomplicated system that requires welding and expensive tools. I kept everything beginner-friendly. If you have basic tools like a drill, screwdriver, and maybe a saw, you should be able to follow along. Let me show you what we're working with. This is the old ceiling fan motor I pulled out of storage. It was completely free because it was just sitting there unused. I also grabbed two small solar panels I had from an old project, some PVC pipes for the tower frame, a cheap charge controller, a 1-2-volt battery, and of course, an ESP32 board to make the whole thing smart. The goal for this hybrid tower is pretty straightforward. During the day, the solar panels do most of the work. When there's wind, the turbine kicks in and adds extra power. At night or on cloudy days, the battery supplies the stored energy. And thanks to the ESP32, I can check the voltage, current, and total power output anytime on my phone. But here's the thing. I didn't know if this would actually work well. A lot of people told me that using an old fan motor for wind power is a waste of time because the efficiency is low. I wanted to find out for myself, so I started by taking the motor apart and figuring out how to turn it into a generator. I'll be honest, there were some moments where I almost gave up. But after some trial and error, I got it spinning and started seeing real voltage on my multimeter. In the next part, I'm going to show you exactly how I built the tower, how I mounted the turbine and solar panels, and how I connected everything together. Then we're going to test it outside and look at the real data coming from the ESP32. If you've ever thought about building your own small renewable energy system but felt it was too expensive or too complicated, this video is for you. Stick around, because the results might surprise you as much as they surprised me. Alright, now that you understand the concept, let's move into the actual build. In this chapter, I'll show you step-by-step how I turned an old ceiling fan motor and some basic materials into a working hybrid wind and solar tower. First, here are the main parts I used. I tried to keep everything cheap and easy to find. One old ceiling fan motor, free from my garage. Two small solar panels, about 50 to 60 watts each. A cheap 12V charge controller. A 12V battery. PVC pipes and fittings for the tower. An ESP32 board. Wires, screws, and basic tools. The total cost for new parts was under $60. Most of the important components were things I already had. Let's start with the wind turbine, which was the most challenging and interesting part. I took the old ceiling fan motor and completely disassembled it. First, I removed the fan blades by unscrewing the center nut. Then I took off the outer plastic housing. What was left was the motor itself, a permanent magnet motor that can generate electricity when its shaft is spun. The next step was to turn this motor into a wind turbine. I cut 3 blades from a strong plastic sheet and attached them to a small metal disc. I then bolted this disc onto the motor shaft. To help the turbine face the wind automatically, I added a simple tail fin made from thin plywood. After finishing the turbine head, I built the tower using PVC pipes. I made a simple three-legged stand about 1.8 meters tall. At the top, I installed a bearing so the turbine could rotate freely with the wind direction. I used metal brackets to make the structure more stable. Once the tower was ready, I mounted the turbine on top. I adjusted it carefully so the shaft was horizontal and the blades could spin without hitting anything. Next, I attached the two solar panels on either side of the tower using metal brackets. I tilted them slightly to catch more sunlight. The panels were connected in parallel and wired to the charge controller. The charge controller is the key component that manages power from both the wind turbine and solar panels to safely charge the battery. After all the main components were mounted, I placed the charge controller inside a small waterproof box at the bottom of the tower. I also ran all the wires from the turbine and solar panels down through the PVC pipe into this box. This keeps the electronics protected from weather. With the physical assembly complete, I did a quick test indoors. I used a power drill to spin the motor shaft and measured the output with a multimeter. I was getting between 12 to 15 volts, which proved that the old fan motor could actually generate electricity. At this point, the tower was physically finished. However, I still wanted to know exactly how much power the system was producing at any moment. Without any monitoring, I could only guess. That's when I decided to add the ESP32. The ESP32 is a small, inexpensive microcontroller with built-in Wi-Fi. Its job in this project is to measure the voltage and current from both the wind turbine and solar panels, then send that live data to my phone. This way, I can see real numbers instead of just hoping the system is working. Now that the tower was built and I had a way to monitor it, it was time to take everything outside and see how it actually performed in real wind and sunlight conditions. After the physical build was finished, I wanted to stop guessing and actually measure how much power the hybrid tower was producing. That's why I added the ESP32 monitoring system. To set it up, I connected two sensors to the ESP32. For battery voltage, I used a voltage divider with a 10K omega resistor and a 7K omega resistor. The middle point was connected to GPIO 34. This safely reduces the 12V battery voltage to a level the ESP32 can read. For current measurement, I used an INA219 sensor. Its SDA pin was connected to GPIO 21 and SCL to GPIO 22. I placed the INA219 on the wire after the charge controller so it could measure the total current going into the battery. I also added a small voltage regulator to provide stable 5V power to the ESP32. Because I noticed it was resetting whenever the battery voltage dropped under load. Everything was mounted inside the waterproof box at the bottom of the tower. When I first tested the system, the readings were very unstable. The numbers on my phone kept fluctuating even when conditions didn't change. One major mistake was using long wires for the sensors. Long wires picked up electrical noise and made the data unreliable. I fixed this by shortening all sensor wires and adding a 100 microfarad capacitor across the ESP32 power pins. Another problem was inconsistent grounding. I had connected different components to separate ground points, which caused erratic readings. After bringing all grounds to a single common point, the measurements became much more stable. The most frustrating issue was the ESP32 constantly losing Wi-Fi connection and restarting, especially when the wind turbine was spinning. After checking with a multimeter, I found that the battery voltage was sagging under load. Adding the voltage regulator completely solved the resetting problem. I also made a wiring mistake with the INA219 at the beginning. I had installed it before the charge controller, so it was only measuring solar current and missing the wind turbine output. Once I moved it to the correct position after the charge controller, it started showing the total current accurately. After fixing these issues, the system became reliable. On a typical day with moderate wind and sun, the solar panels produced around 45 to 60 watts, while the wind turbine added 20 to 35 watts. The data on my phone updated every 2 seconds and stayed consistent. Of course, there are still limitations. The old ceiling fan motor performs poorly in light wind, and the overall efficiency is lower than commercial turbines. However, being able to see real-time data made the project much more useful. and helped me understand how the hybrid system actually behaves in real conditions. After weeks of building, testing, and fixing problems, the hybrid tower is finally working. Looking back, I'm quite satisfied with what I was able to achieve using mostly recycled parts. On a normal day with moderate wind and sunlight, the solar panels usually produce between 45 to 65 watts. The wind turbine made from the old ceiling fan motor adds another 20 to 40 watts when the wind is blowing. On windier days, the turbine can reach over 50 watts for short periods. The ESP32 monitoring system shows me these numbers in real time on my phone, which is very useful. Of course, there are clear limitations. The old fan motor doesn't work well in light wind. On calm days, it barely spins and produces almost no power. A proper small wind turbine would perform much better in low wind conditions. Also, the overall efficiency of this recycled motor is lower than commercial turbines. However, for a low-cost DIY project, I think the results are acceptable. One of the biggest lessons I learned is the importance of monitoring. Before adding the ESP32, I had no idea how much power the system was actually producing. After installing it, I could clearly see what was working and what needed improvement. Being able to measure real data changed the whole project for me. Another lesson is that building with recycled parts requires patience and problem solving. I made many mistakes along the way: wrong wiring, unstable power supply, electrical noise, and poor grounding. Each problem taught me something new about electronics and renewable energy systems. If you're thinking about building something similar, here are a few things I recommend. First, start small and test each part before assembling everything. Second, invest in a basic monitoring system like the ESP32. It makes a huge difference. Third, be realistic about the performance of recycled motors. They can work, but don't expect the same results as a proper wind turbine. Overall, this project showed me that it's possible to build a functional hybrid power system without spending a lot of money. It's not perfect, but it produces real electricity and gives me useful data. More importantly, it gave me the confidence to try more DIY energy projects in the future. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful or interesting, please like and subscribe. I'd also love to hear about your own DIY projects in the comments. See you in the next one.